Alright, let's take a look at the Ruger LCR, the lightweight compact revolver. I think that's what it stands for. We've got a couple of options here. We've got a 38 special, we have a 357 Magnum, 22 long rifle, and now a 22 Magnum. So let's start out with the 38 special since that's the first one that they made. It's a 5-shot, obviously 38 special. Now it's got some metal here in the frame, the barrel, the cylinder, of course some of the internals, but most of the frame is polymer. So you can kind of see where the division there, the trigger guard is polymer all underneath the grip, all around the back there. That way the parts that don't come under a lot of stress are lightweight. And tell you honestly, the first time I saw this back in Florida in SHOT Show 2009, I thought this was about the ugliest gun I'd seen. You know, that gap there between the cylinder and the frame just didn't appeal to me. It was really getting a lot of attention. All the gun writers were over shooting it at the range there. And honestly, I just didn't feel like waiting in line to shoot this ugly looking gun. Well, I wish I would have. About a year later, probably next year at SHOT Show, this time it was in Vegas, I finally did pull the trigger on one, and that's really what changed it for me. So let's check one more time. It's empty, and I'll just pull the trigger here. And that is such a nice, quick, crisp trigger for a double action small revolver like this. It just won me over. Luckily, I guess, I waited about a year because I heard rumors that they were coming out with a 357 model, and that's what I ended up with. As much as I like 38 special revolvers, 357 is really more my style. I'd rather have, 5 rounds of 357 than 5 rounds of 38, in other words. Now this one is a little bit different. The front is steel instead of aluminum, I think, and it's got a little bit more weight up front. But the back is still polymer. And it does take a lot of the weight out of there, and you can see this one's fairly well used. This is actually my gun, and I bought this, again, just as soon as they hit the market. It's a 5-shot, 357, and still has that super quick, crisp, lightweight trigger for a double-action revolver like this. In fact, I've been carrying it every day. You can see it's got some holster wear carried in this Safariland holster, and I sometimes forget it's there. Very good peace of mind having 5-shot this 357. Plus I carry a strip with a couple extra rounds in it as well. So they came out with the 2 large centerfire ones, and then they came out with a 22 long rifle. And I really did seriously look at this one. It's an 8-shot, which I like. I'd prefer it to be 10, but I can deal with 8. This one happens to have the laser grip on it, and you can see that laser grip will work with any of the models. It comes out right from the side of the cylinder there. But for me, I'd rather have, the reason I don't have a laser on here now, is I'd rather have those 2 fingers on the gun with that finger groove than to have to deal with this laser, which has just a smaller grip. And I know for carry, that's much more appealing for a lot of people, but this is just something that, for the extra money, just wasn't my thing. So as much as I really wanted to get the 22 to have something with a similar manual of arms and a similar feel, what I ended up with, or I ended up waiting, because they did come out with the 22 Magnum soon after. And this is the one that I've really been debating on. Unfortunately, it's only a 6-shot. Now again, I'd rather prefer a 10-shot, not because I'm worried about it as a protection gun, but simply when I go out to the range to plink with 22 Magnum, I'd rather not have to reload so much. So it being a 6-round has really kind of got me on the fence. For a defensive gun, I'd kind of like to have more than 6 rounds in there, especially when it's only 22 Magnum. I'm not going to dry fire this one, but it shares a similar lightweight trigger that I really enjoy. So for me, this is a great option. In my opinion, this is a great option if you've got arthritis or you don't want to carry a full-size pistol, but you want to have something in a handgun that's effective. And a 22 Magnum is much more effective, of course, than a 22 long rifle. So this is something that I would think might be on a lot of people's radar, especially if you're not looking for if you don't have a lot of hand strength and you don't really want to carry around something huge. It's not the best bet. I think I'd suggest the 38 Special for sure, and before the 22 Magnum, but could definitely do worse. The only thing I think we're missing here is maybe the green frame. We've got the we've got the Hi-Viz sight here on this 38. Which is a little fragile, but it really gives you a good sight picture. We've got the laser grip on this 22 long rifle, and then of course we see the other calibers. So if you have any questions or you'd like to make some comments, feel free to leave them below. And as always, thanks for watching.
The guys and gals at GunWebsites.com encourage you to take a CCW class every year, practice at least once a month, and carry every day. Thanks for watching GunWebsites.com.